They don't want us to see nobody holding Kenneka. They don't want us to see nobody choking her and all that shit in the lower level bathrooms. They don't want us to see all that. They want us to go by what they want to present to us. So we're going to beat them by that. Now, I seen something in this kitchen that it's been in our face all this time. From the point when Andrews said that he seen her go in the freezer. Alright? Found out it was a lie. Okay? Now, the thing is, not only you don't see her go in the freezer, but you see an indication of a struggle on the wall. It's in the shadow, but they cut it right when the struggle begins. They cut it right before the struggle begins. When you see the shadow on the wall, they saying that that's an indication of her opening up the door. Well, we have some things to compare. We have footage to compare to that. Alright? And the footage we're going to use to compare to her going inside that freezer is indeed of the manager himself going inside the freezer. So let's get right to it. Now, right here along this wall, there's a dark line along this wall, right? I'm not going to even go the route of them editing. We're not going to do the spooky stuff, all right? We're going to beat them by their own game. I don't know if y'all can see this little square box right here. I'm going to put the magnify on for you. See where my cursor's at? And I'm pretty sure my cursor is showing a yellow circle around it. So right there, see this square box? This square box and the tube that goes out of that box. I'm gonna give you a better picture of that. Give you a better picture of that. Alright. That square box right here. That is what we're seeing. Okay? So when most people was like, this right here looks edited, like they tried to draw something in on this white wall right here. They tried to draw something on the edge of that wall. No, this is what we're seeing right here. This box right here. And this tube that's going up outside of that box. This is indeed wiring. Alright? But we're not going to focus on the wiring. Just the fact that that box is right there. This is the edge of the door. Do you see that? You see where the door panel comes out of the exterior of this freezer? See where the door panel comes out? The frame of the door? Okay, that's what we see over here. Let me put the magnifying back on. Now I want y'all to pay a good attention to that, because okay, you see where this box is at, right? Now look at this, look at the footage and look at that photo. Alright, so that's the same thing, right? So that's in our view. We can see that. You feel me? We can see that. Not only we can see that, but we can see the very edge of this door frame of the freezer. The very edge of the door frame of the freezer, we can see that. See what I mean? The very edge of it. So, with that being said, I want to show y'all something. Now, when this manager goes in this door, I want y'all to check it out first before I show it to you. He's gonna go to the door, he's gonna pull the door open, he's gonna look in, then he's gonna go in. A lot of people thought that he unlocked the door. He didn't unlock it. Then he came out real quick to go get the officer. I know a lot of y'all saying no, he did unlock it because he got the keys. Let me tell y'all something about those keys. Those keys are for him to navigate around the hotel. That's what those keys are for. A lot of people were wondering, well, why did he come in from this side? Well, that's what he had the keys for. Okay? Why would you lock the door from the inside to lock off a premises that you just may go back into? It doesn't make sense to have the door locked on the inside. Then you have to find a way to get inside to unlock the door. If you're a manager and you want access to this particular room, you're going to lock it from the outside, not the inside. Okay? It's not what we want. We have to use common sense of what's going on, what's natural to do. And what's natural to do is to lock doors from the outside, not the inside. See, what we want them to do is lock it from the inside and go around and go out. And just leave it like that. So we thinking where it should be locked from the inside so that nobody from the outside can get in. That doesn't make sense because the manager always wants access to wherever he wants to go in the hotel. All managers want that access. They don't want to have to go, through hoops and, hula hoops to get to an access point. They don't want to do that. So that's what he has the keys for in his hands, to get around the maneuver. Okay? I can guarantee you he didn't unlock that freezer. I can guarantee you if he did it prior to this video or prior to this footage. Because he damn sure didn't do it when he went to that freezer. Okay? And we're going to give him that. You didn't unlock the freezer. Okay? We're going to give you that. So here's the thing. Watch this. I understand I want to do what I want to do. Alright. Pay close attention. When the magnifier come up, I'm going to show you. Alright. Now, I want you to pay attention to, watch my cursor, the error pay attention to his elbow. Watch his elbow. Boom. Did you see it? Let's do that again. Hopefully I can get him to do it again. Okay, I have to start over again. That's the only thing I don't like about this player. You have to start it all the way over. Okay, pause. Alright. that? Gucci or what? Alright, I'm pretty sure this is okay. I want y'all to pay attention. Matter of fact, let me slow it down for you. Let me slow it down. Okay. I want y'all to pay close attention. Watch for his elbow. Move my cursor over. And pay attention to his shadow too. See how low his shadow is? And he's a tall fella. Okay. Boom, do you see the elbow? I know you saw the elbow. Alright? That's how close to the edge that he has to be to get in once he opened the door. So you have to understand this is a metal door. It may not be a full metal door. It may have some type of insulation within it. But this is a metal door. This is a big wide door. So when you open it, you don't swing it all the way out to go in. You open it just enough for you to get in. So when you open it just enough for you to get in, you're going to see the person's elbow or shoulder, or you may see their whole arm, like the whole back of their arm. You get my drift? So my thing is, if you haven't caught on to where I'm going at with this yet, my thing is, why didn't we see any of Kenneka's apparel when she went in? You got to remember, she's drunk. So she's definitely not going to open that door wide open, like swing it wide open and just walk in. She is drunk. She's going to open the door the way everybody else opens. She may even open it even worse, because she might just open it up just to slide herself in because she's drunk. And you're not going to swing that door open. Even if she swung that door open, you would still see her apparel along the frame of that door. Even if she swung it open, she's drunk. She's staggering. But the reason why we didn't see it is because, one, she was in a struggle with somebody. Somebody was pulling and yanking on her. That's the part where people are not understanding. Somebody was pulling and yanking on her at that point. Now, I know you ask, if that's the case, then where is this person? Why didn't we see him in the footage? You know why we didn't see him in the footage? Because they started the footage off after the person went back there to hide. Think it's a game? Watch this. Now, this footage right here starts off at 3 hours and 32 seconds. This is 3 in the morning. This is where this footage starts. The person is already back here. Understand that. The person is already back here. The person is already there. Not only the fact that they started it off when she first walked in, but the fact that it's rolling before anybody is in the camera. Remember, these are motion censored cameras. Why is the camera rolling if nobody is back here? And watch this also. After she goes back there and the sensor red box goes off and you count your 10 seconds for it to skip, guess what time it skips to? 8 o'clock p.m. Why in the fuck does this footage skip from 3 in the morning to 8 o'clock p.m.? Because you're trying to tell us that nobody is ever back here, right? So if nobody is ever back here, why didn't the camera pop on when she got right here or right here? The camera is rolling before she's even in the footage. If she's the only one illegally back here and nobody else ever comes back here ever, because once she got around that corner and 10 seconds rolled out, the clock went to 8 o'clock p.m., indicating that nobody else came back there during what, the 18 hours. From 3 to 3 is 12. That's 12 hours. And then you count what, 5 hours from that? 17 hours. Roughly 8 o'clock p.m. is when the camera came back on. And guess who pops up in the camera? Remember the guy that came behind her? The first footage that we seen months and months ago, the guy that came behind her and stood at the end of this table right here and sort of scratched his head and looked over there. That wasn't directly after her. That was 17 hours later. That was 8 o'clock p.m. when that guy walked up, and they was already looking for Kenneka after this. I mean, before that. Well, during the time that he walked in here and just looked over there and said that he checked the gauge, well, he didn't check this gauge. He just sort of stood here and looked over there. I don't think he was checking for gauges. They was already in process of looking for Kenneka. 8 o'clock p.m. he just happened to walk in here, look over there, and scratch his head. I guess he didn't feel like checking that freezer. Because 4 hours later is when the manager comes in and goes in the freezer. 4 hours later after he walked here and stand here. Alright? So, let's move along with this. Kenneka walks in. During the time the footage is already rolling. This is where the time starts. Actually at 3:32:32, but I had to catch it at the second frame. This is where the footage starts. There's no other footage before this. Why? Why is there no other footage before this? Because you're saying that nobody is ever down here or up here. But yet the clock is rolling before she comes into frame. Which indicates that somebody is in here. They're behind this fucking wall. Now I'm gonna put on the magnifier and I'm going to hit play. And you will see with a different perspective. She is being yanked when she get around that corner. She paused when she got to that corner. She paused. Oh shit. She kind of like stuttered, like, and they grabbed her. Because they standing right here against the wall. Waiting on her. So here we go. Hit play. Then after this, I'm gonna show you her shadow. Okay, she's walking in. Watch when she paused. Goddamn computer. Let's do this again. Alright, here we go. Alright. Now watch when she hit around this corner, she gonna pause. Like, oh shit, and they grab her. Now, look at how she's leaning. Look at how she's leaning. Come on, man. Somebody's yanking on her. Now watch her shadow compared to the manager's shadow. Watch. And they cut it off. Watch. That's a struggle. She's struggling. Look at the clock. Look at the clock. Look who's over there. That's 8 o'clock p.m. They cut it off during the struggle. Now, let me tell you another trick they did with this. Okay? They used the 10-second rule. After that red box, the 10 seconds, the footage stops. The camera stops recording. They used that against us. So all we get is a glimpse of her shadow on the wall, and they cut it off. Now, where they also got us is that they can redact things and don't have to be accountable for missing footage, because somebody, whoever was yanking on her, they had to come out of that corner. Now, if they know this hotel well and they know this camera well, they know that they can walk along. Let me get rid of this. They know that they can walk along this wall. They have to walk along it very, very finely against this wall. Right? Come on, cursor. And they can go along behind this kitchenware. They can walk along that wall and never be detected. Then once they walk from behind that, they can get about in this area right here, and they'll never be detected. There's no other camera that they have to worry about. We learned this already, that you can walk along that wall and never be detected. We learned this already. In fact, when you over here, you're too far away from the camera. This is the reason why the camera cut off, and they used that against us. This is the reason why the camera cut off. But we saw her shadow, but it was nowhere near the way the manager's shadow was. Right? Watch this. It's freezing up on me. Alright. I forgot I had it moving kind of slow. Alright. Watch this. Now, see how his shadow just looked? We're going to pay attention to that again. All right, so you seen his elbow when he got ready to enter. He pulled that open. Okay, that was no key. He pulled that open. You seen the elbow when he got ready to enter. Look at his shadow. Look how deep and solid that shadow is compared to this shadow. Okay, compared to that shadow and this shadow. This is the manager shadow that I'm floating, and pull it to the middle. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. All right. Put on the magnifier. Come on. You can do it. Okay, so this is the manager's shadow compared to Kenneka's shadow. Now you tell me what we looking at. I tell you what we're looking at. We're looking at fraud. We're looking at cover up. She's struggling with somebody. She's not even entering the freezer. She's over there struggling. He's entering the freezer. That's why his shadow is a lot darker, because he's actually against the exterior of that freezer. She's not against the exterior. She's close by it, but she's not against the exterior. Remember, they have to go against that exterior to get in. Because once they open the door, they don't just swing it wide open and just make it just swing wide open and just walk in. They open it just enough for them to walk themselves in. And majority of the time they walk along, they walk against that frame. Their shoulder, arm, or something brushes against that frame when they go in. This is normal. This is common sense. This is normal. But her shadow doesn't do that, because she wasn't going in the freezer. She was over there struggling with whoever that was pulling on her. That's what was going on with her. So no, you never see her go in, because she's over there struggling. And then the clock cuts off. And then you see nothing else after that until 8 o'clock p.m. And at that time, Miss Teresa, she's been at the hotel for hours, a whole day, half of a morning and a whole day, right? So they're there looking for her. So whoever this maintenance guy is, who walks in at 8 o'clock p.m., I don't know what he's seen. At the beginning, we thought he may have seen a struggle because we thought he walked in directly after her, but he didn't. This is 8 o'clock p.m. That's when he walked in. Then 4 hours later, the manager walks in. That's when the manager goes in, discover her body there. We're just going to say discover. And goes to tell the officer. Now, let's go to the officer's statement. All right. So let's get out of this for a second. And see, the officer's statement is here. All right. This is Officer Walsh. I'm just going to say Officer Walsh. And this is Detective I think this is Officer Mark talking with Officer Walsh, or taking in his statement as to what happened during the time that the manager found the body and came and got him. So it says, I spoke with Officer Walsh, who advised while he was outside of the hotel checking the area near the loading dock, one of the hotel security members, later identified as such and such, came outside and said something to him, but he could not hear what he said. Officer Walsh advised he looked in the direction of such and such and saw he was waving him over. Okay, Officer Walsh said he walked towards such and such, and he said to him, "Scared the hell out of me." Officer Walsh said, okay, apparently this is the manager. Officer Walsh said, manager looked scared, and he asked the manager what scared him. Okay. Officer Walsh said the manager started to walk inside to the kitchen area to show him what he was referring to. Officer Walsh said he stopped the manager to figure out what he was talking about and asked him if somebody was in the kitchen. The manager advised there was, and Officer Walsh asked if there was somebody walking around or if he had seen a body. The manager told Officer Walsh that he had seen a body. All right, now pay attention to this part. Officer Walsh said as they entered the doors into the kitchen, the manager stopped and just pointed. Remember that. He stopped and he pointed. The manager stopped and pointed towards the cooler. Officer Walsh advised he walked over to the cooler, opened the door, and advised the light was off, and he did not initially see anything. Okay, so he's going to turn the flashlight on. This is the time he's going to turn the flashlight on. But he was assisted by the manager. The manager did open the door for him. Okay, the manager had the door open for him when they walked over there. The manager put the door open, held it open for him. The officer turned the flashlight on. Okay. He said he then realized there was another door inside the cooler. Officer Walsh said he then opened the second door into the freezer, and the light was off inside there as well. So this cooler was in total darkness. What happened to this light that comes on when you open the door? But we ain't gonna get into that. He stated when he opened the freezer door, he immediately saw what appeared to be a woman lying on the floor, face down. Okay, I think that's what they meant to say, but they put face door. So we're going to take what they put. On the floor, face door. On the floor, facing the door, possibly. Officer Walsh said at that time, it's when he advised dispatch that he had located the female. He said he grabbed her leg to try and shake her awake. When he realized her leg was extremely cold and hard, Officer Walsh advised he did check for a pulse on her neck. So he shook her leg. Hey, wake up. Hey. No response. Went further in, checked the pulse on her neck, but could not feel anything and did not touch her or move her after checking for a pulse. So according to what he wrote, I did go and check the footage, and it fairly close. I'm not going to even talk about the differentiation because it's not that big of a difference. You understand what I'm saying? But fairly close, right? So let's go back to the footage. So he's coming out to tell the officer. He is pointing. Door is open. See his shoulder? See the officer's shoulder? He's standing at the frame of the door. He goes in. He stated he had to open up the other door. Check a leg. He goes in and check the pulse. He dispatched. So fairly close, right? Fairly close. Now this is what I want you to pay attention to. Gonna kind of go past that a little bit until you get the officer. That's what I want you to pay attention to. Put on the magnifier. All right. Come on, sticky. And play. Go back up. Now, pay attention. He got your light on. See his shoulder? Did you see the officer? I mean the manager's shoulder also in front of him? You can pause this at any time. I'm not going to go back. All right. So the manager had to open the door for him. Then he goes in. But notice where they had to stand first. They stood in front of that same frame that I was telling you about. All right. And did you see the shadow? I will go back a little bit on that if I can. Let's see. Well, my all right. Pay attention to the manager. You seen a little bit of the manager's shoulder, and you see the officer's shoulder. Okay. Now pay attention to the shadow of the officer when he come out. See how dark that is? Okay. So we didn't see that with Kenneka. Okay. So Kenneka never entered the freezer on that frame. Okay. In that footage, that last frame, Kenneka never entered the freezer. So it's possible that she got away and they dragged her back in. Because now you have to explain where all this dirt and debris and all this shit in her hair and all, where did all that shit come from? Because all that shit is not in that freezer. All that dirt is not in that freezer. Okay? She was obviously dragged. This we can tell that, I mean, she has drag patterns over her clothes and her shoes. Okay? People say there was a footprint on her shoe. No, that was her being dragged. Okay? That was her being dragged. So did she get away first? Then not only that, how many people was involved? Okay? So all of the indications of her, I mean, as far as our eyes can see and our common sense can bring upon light on this situation is I mean, she struggled. She never entered that freezer on that footage ever. She was struggling with whoever was yanking and pulling on her. She was struggling, and the camera cut off. Not only that, the person she was struggling with never appeared on the footage. Not only that, the footage, the only starting footage of the upper kitchen is when she was coming in and the footage was already rolling. If that's not a cover up, for it to be this camera rolling before she walks in, and the fact that the camera never picks up anything else for a whole 17 hours straight, that is indeed signs of a cover up.